Greetings, twin flame lovers. So this video is for you if you are a high vibing, high achieving female love leader who is here to align with your twin flame. You understand the impact that the planets, the cosmology has on your love life, your relationships, and even your business prospects. And maybe you've heard that Venus is currently in retrograde from October 5th until November 16th or so, 2018. In this video, first, I'll explain what Venus retrograde actually is and why it's so important to be aware of it. Second, you'll get the general Venus retrograde astrology themes so that you can capitalize on the bliss while minimizing on the drama. Third, I'll share my blissness and money updates for you badass boss babes. And finally, number 4, I will give you a juicy twin flame Venus retrograde energy report, including the 3 things that you should avoid at this time so that you twinsies out there can keep the love vibes high like Aphrodite Venus herself. So stay tuned. All right, before we dive in any deeper, what is this whole Venus retrograde thing? So you might be wondering, despite the cosmic urban legend, planets do not move backwards during any retrograde or at any time. So to retrograde means to become, to appear, to behave, or appear to move in a backwards motion. Keyword, to appear. However, it simply looks that way because of the planet's position in the relationship to Earth and Sun at different times during the year. This retrograde occurs for approximately 40 to 43 days every 18 months. So many people get a little nervous when they hear the term retrograde in astrology forecasts, etc., because let's face it, Mercury retrograde is usually an intense time, causing technology to glitch out and other aspects of our lives to go haywire. And while it is true that if you're not prepared, Venus retrograde could kick you in the booty just a bit, luckily for you, Venus retrograde can be an astrological asset because you are taking the time to understand this information and the Venus retrograde themes. So without further ado, here are the general Venus retrograde astrology themes. So Venus retrograde is an ideal time to be setting intentions for what you want to manifest when the planets go direct on the 16th of November. It is not, however, a time to overdo it on big beauty projects, redecorations, making extravagant purchases, or making any big commitments in the love area in your life. So hold off on that whimsical elopement and don't impulsively hop off to the beauty salon for an ombre blue-purple hairstyle until after the retrograde, please, my ladies. During this retrograde, Venus starts on October 5th at 10 degrees Scorpio, lasting for 40 days, ending around November 16th when Venus goes direct at 25 degrees Libra. So starting in Scorpio could make things a little challenging, as Scorpio, the most intense sign of the zodiac. Scorpio corresponds with death, drugs, sex, taboos, anything shadowy. It's all about the primal instincts, reflexes of the reptilian brain. Ultimately, Scorpio is all about the parts people are too afraid to talk about, know about, or don't even want to know about. Interestingly, according to James Partridge, Venus this retrograde is on the same degree as the ascendant of Bill Cosby and Harvey Weinstein. Yeah. So the good news is that this retrograde will be ideal for creativity and art projects. And fittingly, one thing that's really special that many people are not aware of is that Venus makes a beautiful sacred geometric pattern in the sky, a 5-pointed star flower, as the apparent path as observed from the Earth as it rotates around the Sun. I'll talk more about this in a moment. The ultimate purpose for this test for the Venus retrograde period is to resurrect the biggest asset, your heart. And that's why this is an important time to focus on healing your heart from past loves, childhood wounds, any past lives, and to awaken your heart as a goddess or god of love. I have an incredibly easy suggestion on how to do just that if you're interested. I've designed a home learning program that gives you the exact tools that you need to align, soothe, and awaken your heart chakra so that you can magnetize your twin flame beloved. This program has been years in the making and is available for you right now for just $33. For the first 144 buyers, you can get an $11 off coupon code that I will share in the description box below. So in the Heartbreak to Heartbreak-Through training course, you're going to get the Heartbroken Open, a mini guided meditation. It's an MP3, the 22 Twin Flame Love Blocks checklist exercise PDF, plus a special offer to work with me privately. From this home learning course, you're going to gain a deeper connection with your divine feminine and divine masculine in your heart space so that you can heal those old abandonment issues and return to trust. You'll uncover the 4 most common invisible heart chakra blocks that attract twin flame counterfeits, drama kings and queens. You'll get your heart chakra, the Anahata chakra, unstuck so that you can surrender hidden intimacy fears to attract true love. You'll also get my comprehensive list of the most common twin flame love blocks, TFLBs, that I've witnessed in thousands of my clients and fans. You'll get a complete, powerful love blocks awareness exercise to help you move through and manifest love with safety and ease. Click the link below and you'll get the entire course for just $33, which is over 66% off the regular price. And try checking out with the coupon code. I'll put that down below for the $11 off savings. All right, so let's go back to the pentagram of Venus. As I've stated, the pentagram of Venus is the apparent path of the planet Venus as observed from the Earth. It's also known as the Rose of Venus because it has 5 petals where Venus makes its closest approach to the Earth. Herein lies a clue to the origins of Mary Magdalene and of the sacred rose line. Mary Magdalene, she represents the divine bride, the twin flame beloved, and the one who has resurrected herself, having been deemed the whore. And it wasn't until just 2 years ago that the Vatican took that one off the books with a public apology, saying that they'd mistaken her for another Mary. So Venus is universally associated with the sea and with the morning and evening star, like the Virgin Mary. She bore the title Stella Marie, Star of the Sea, like the Mother Mary. Her sacred flower is the rose, and she was sometimes simply called Mari, M-A-R-I, the Sea Mother Goddess. So spend time at the sea or listen to ocean meditation sounds on your favorite device, or even add a little sprinkle of Celtic sea salt for a little ocean energy to your water at this Venus retrograde. All right, so Venus flow has some really cool synchronicities with the Fibonacci numbers in sequence 3, 5, 8, and 13, as well as evidence of having resonance with the golden ratio 5. Also, interestingly, in Latin, the name for the planet Venus was surprisingly Lucifer. Perhaps the patriarchy got it wrong and we were duped to believe that the goddess of love was the devil. This Venus retrograde could be a great time to ponder about where we have demonized or undervalued parts of the divine feminine, the aspects of ourselves. Okay, now let's get to those business and money updates. As Venus also rules money, it's traditionally thought that Venus retrograde is not an ideal time for investing or buying any luxury items. But it is going to be a powerful 40 days to review, revisit, evaluate not only your love life and your relationships, but also, yes, your money space, and most of all, your value. And yes, a woman's value relates to how she earns, or perhaps more appropriately, receives her value financially. Since Venus is all about value, and the divine feminine has not felt her value, and that's why there has been a huge pay gap even today when female entrepreneurs make only 83 cents to the dollar of their male counterparts. It's time to question everything about our value, including how we receive money, the money systems, and even supposedly the new revolutionary cryptocurrency, and really take a deeper look at the shadows that might be there. More importantly, it's time to assess our values around value exchange and our value in the money game. And hopefully then we can start to bridge the wealth gap, see money go to good causes, pay our teachers, heal the environment, cut back on military spending, and make being a light worker, a priestess who chooses to monetize her gifts, not a taboo or sin, but a revered and perhaps even prestigious career. To be honest, it's been a hard path, opting out of the mainstream way of earning money, going from my Duke University pre-med program years back to pursue my deep soul's calling, which was terrifying for me at the time. For many, many years, I led my own path where I traveled the world. I studied energy medicine, shamanism, and I created my own path and became the twin flame matchmaker that I am today. But even though I've learned to monetize my gifts as a light worker, as a priestess, there are those in my own family that believe that it's wrong to charge money for light work, even when I've cured many mental and physical ailments in my clients and fans working on the energy level. To me, it's an outrage to be deemed as a sinner or bad, or maybe even just not being taken seriously at best because I'm not a doctor or a dentist or psychologist in the traditional sense, because I've taken a metaphysical path. This has been deemed as witchcraft for so long, and it's really not in alignment with the truth. Yet Jack and I have made the commitment to sending our family members who don't agree with us love and saying, we set a boundary, we honor your beliefs, but this is our path. We are here to heal others that resonate with the work that we do. So the twin flame Venus retrograde energy report is this. So I forecast that the retrograde will be a big initiation for us twin flames on a soul purpose level. So the number 144 comes up at this time. Wikipedia states Venus orbits around the sun approximately 13 times for every 8 orbits of the Earth, shifting 144 degrees at the interior conjunction. You'll remember that 144,000 is a special number for twin flames. 144,000 is a sacred number because many believe that there will be 144,000 light workers or flames who explain and reveal the divine mission to create heaven on earth because of the evidence of many religious doctrines, including Revelation 7. So we have 144, and we can multiply this by 1,000 to get the magic twin flame number, which I believe is not necessarily a literal number, more symbolic. So the number 1,000 is an angel number that symbolizes divine help in its universal form. This means that you will have big strength and achieve anything you desire. Here we go. The number 144,000, it represents our shot at achieving heaven on earth, what we came here to do. And apparently we need Venus's help at this time. Okay, so at this point, you've heard that exchanging love and affection could become more difficult during the retrograde. So as a preventative measure, it could be a really powerful time to do some journaling about relationships that you are in or past relationships, and discuss with your partner and evaluate your relationship together. This would be a great time not only to evaluate, but commit to making changes after the retrograde. But don't make any big decisions during the retrograde. Exes, old karmas, this is a great time to sort these out, to cut heart chakra cords, and to understand what brought you together in the first place. So remember, this is the time to evaluate. Using the symbol of the rose might be a helpful tool. Imagine sending your exes psychic roses of completion. Maybe envision sending them a white bouquet of roses on the psychic level. This symbolizes death and rebirth. You may wish to use this prayer. May these roses represent a completion of what was lived out between us. They represent forgiveness for what hopes were not lived out between us. May we sever the tie that no longer serves us, and may we walk our paths individually in love and light. Amen. And feel how good that feels. You can repeat this for any old loves, and I'll put the link to the blog so you can reread that prayer. So with your twin flame, I highly recommend that you create a sacred space for contemplation, completion, and completing a new chapter that's going to start on November 16th. You may wish to ask yourself, what do we want to do together with our time here? How do we want to hold our union? What is our biggest soul purpose? What actions do we need to take next? Are there any rituals that are needed at this time to do this year, monthly, annually, on the solstices, equinoxes, to keep our union running smoothly? Okay, next, the 3 things to avoid this month are sexual tension, pent-up anger, and impulsiveness. So the main influence on Venus stationary retrograde is a tense square aspect to Mars. This means that the sexual tension could be high in either or both partners. So take this as a time to connect with your energy. You can do exploration of self-touch or even moving the energy into non-sexual places. Now, the main thing is to remain conscious of what is happening and not suppress the energy. Creating sacred sexual ritual could be particularly powerful, especially during the new moon on October 8th in Libra, and the full Hunter's moon on October 28th can help dispel some of this tension. Now, the second is to avoid penting up your anger. The last time that Jack and I had a Venus retrograde was fall 2010, and we went through a major upleveling of stuck anger in our relationship. Since we didn't know that much about astrology at that time, we didn't know what was happening until an astrologer, a fan of ours, came up and talked to us about it. But the arguments, they were out of control, so our minds assumed the worst. And we thought it was time to break up instead of just feeling through our intense emotions and knowing this was part of the retrograde. All of Jack's fears, they came up. Commitment issues. He was terrified of making the wrong choice, marrying me. He thought it would be codependent, disempowering. All of his drama came up, and my abandonment fears came up too. And I manifested my worst fear during the Venus retrograde. Jack asked me to take our engagement bands off, and luckily we stayed detached throughout the situation and got some professional help, some premarital counseling, so we could really deal with this individually and then come back together to make a compromise. And we learned to express our anger in healthy ways, and miraculously, we cleared up some verbal abuse patterns that had been in our lineage for generations. Some of you may remember this experience we went through from our old YouTube days. Comment below if you remember anything, and thank you so much for continuing to trust us and watch us and support us on our channel. Speaking of which, don't forget to subscribe, hit the notifications bell because we come out with new twin flame updates every week. And it was to our surprise that during the retrograde, the test of the heart, that we truly fell in love to a much deeper and authentic level. We fell into trust. We hope that you utilize this potent period to integrate, evaluate, and heal your heart chakra to spread the love further and wider. And if you want my support to heal and activate your Anahata, the 4th chakra, take advantage of the 66% off purchasing the home learning program from Heartbreak to Heartbreak-Through by clicking the link below. You'll want to act soon because you'll get an $11 off if you use the coupon code that I'll put next to the link. That's for the first 144 lucky buyers for this sacred savings. So thank you so much, my sister, for joining me. I send you loads of love from my heart to yours in the name of Venus Aphrodite. Namaste.